Hey guys, it's Chase here from the Nightmare Media. I hope you enjoyed the last video with ranking the Scream movies. That was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do a few more slasher horror film rankings for you. But today we got a special video with the upcoming film Prey that's dropping in just a couple days from recording this. I am going to rank all 4 Predator films. Now, before we get into this, I'd like you, if you could, please like and subscribe, support the channel. I would definitely appreciate it. I will leave the links in the description for social media. Please give a like and a follow if you can. Would definitely appreciate that support. Now, before we get into the Predator reviews, now I'm a big Predator guy. I know people, it's either you kind of like Alien or you like Predator or you like both. I just prefer Predator over Alien, and I always have. One day I will rank the Alien movies, so stay tuned for that because those movies are going to be a little bit different. But the Predator movies, out of really all of them, there's something I like in them. I just find certain ones just not as good as others. But let's wait no longer. Let's get into it. Starting with number 4, I'm going to start with Predators. Directed by Nimrod Anto. Hope I pronounced that name right. But I have tried to really like this movie since it came out. And I don't hate it by any means. I just don't like it a lot. I mean, there's definitely some cool stuff in it. I just felt like it wanted to be the first film and try to be better than the first film. And there's just no way it could do that. Because, I mean, it had that jungle setting, a lot of the same lines like get to the chopper or come on, I'm right here, kill me. Like that same thing. And the characters, they're just not really that great. Again, most of them are just copied rip-offs of what the first one did. Like Adrian Brody, he tries to be like Dutch. It ain't working. I mean, Adrian Brody, I like him in King Kong. He was good in that, but everything else, I mean, I'm not really the biggest Adrian Brody guy. In this movie, he tries to be better than Dutch and bring that badass way that Dutch did. And yeah, dude, it's just not working. And so none of the other characters are just good. I mean, Danny Trejo I always love Danny Trejo, but I feel like he just gets the short end on this one. He's like, the first one out. I did like that, how they killed him and then tried to use him as bait to trap him. I thought that was really cool. I think, like I said, how the Predators kind of evolve and get smarter. That was really good. But the Berserker Predator in this, the main bad Predator, he was awesome. He is my favorite, like in my top 3 favorite Predators, easily, without a doubt. That's the look, the design, the badass he is. I love the Berserker Predator. And so maybe one day I will actually rank the Predators that we've gotten because that could be really interesting. John Debney, his score is pretty solid. I mean, I feel like most of the Predator movies, like the score is good, but it's solid. I mean, he tried to do a little bit different of a Predator theme, and it's not bad. I listen to it from time to time, just go to it. I like the Berserker Predators theme. I think that one is really good from that soundtrack. Like I said, and in general, I think the film is fine. It's just in that trailer that we got from when this movie came out, and when it showed like the laser pointing on Adrian Brody's character, and it's just like boom, boom, like so many of them. And then they fooled us with that, thinking that's what we were going to get, and we didn't even get that. I feel like that was probably one of my first like getting fooled, and it really sucked because I was really looking forward to this movie when it came out. I mean, I wasn't old enough to see it in theaters, but I remember when it came out on DVD, I got it first thing, and I watched it that day, and I was like, I don't know, I could never get through it. Actually, it took me a while to really just get through it. I just do not really super care for it. I give it a 6 out of 10. I guess it isn't bad, but I give it a 6 out of 10. It's not one that I'm going to go watch. I prefer one of the other ones on this list. So let's go to number 3. That will be The Predator. Now, I do know this movie gets a lot of hate. But I really will tell you, I find this as a fun, guilty pleasure. I actually enjoyed it a lot when I saw it in theaters. I saw it in IMAX when the first day it came out. And I just found it to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool action moments. The comedy, they force a lot of the comedy in. Some of the comedy works, some of the comedy don't. Olivia Munn's character is easily the best out of everybody. I feel. Um, Brode Halbach or Halbrook as Quinn McKinnon. I mean, he's good. He's good. Not great. And then like the other captives, you got Key in there, and can't remember who else was there. But I mean, they're good. I mean, I will say that they gave a lot of good laughs. There's a lot of cool scenes. Olivia Munn's character trying to escape from when the fugitive predator breaks out and is like killing all the lab people, and her trying to just get where she can get dressed. It's like they have to put them in those suits. Her like that tension of her just trying to get out is like really good. I like that. The whole scene is cool because the predator's just fucking everybody up. Excuse my language, and he's just messing everybody up, and that's what's great about the Predator films. The Fugitive Predator, he's really cool. I always dug the design. I just felt like he just got screwed over in this one. I think he should have been the main one because the Super Predator, I just do not care for him. I mean, when I saw the first time, and I've seen it multiple times since, I just do not care for the Super Predator. I just think it's that over CGI, just like trying to be the Super Shredder, but the Super Shredder was done better. Uh, yeah, just not a big fan of him or the Hounds. I will say the Predators did that better with those Hounds. Those Hounds were cool. These Hounds are just not really. I do think the ending, because I know they reshot that when the movie was doing, and it sucks with that Predator suit thing, like Terminator. I don't know. That just looks stupid, and it sucks. But this film overall, it's just a fun, guilty pleasure. And I know, like I said, I'm probably gonna get a lot of crap for that, for thinking saying I like this movie. But that's what's fun about movies. Everybody's got a different opinion. So definitely, but after you see my rankings, go down and give your thoughts on what is your rankings of the Predator films. I give it a 7 out of 10. I just find it just a fun movie. Now coming in at number 2, it's probably a surprise. I get a lot of crap for it, but I go with Predator. Now Predator is awesome. I have loved this movie since I was a kid. This is a movie I've watched over and over and over and over again. I mean, it's an awesome science fiction movie. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Dutch, and Carl Weathers is Dylan, and just everybody's chemistry, and all the military people. Everybody's just awesome. Everybody works. The Predator, keeping him a surprise until most of the movie, even like now in the trailers, I mean the posters, was just awesome back in the day. Because you don't get that a lot in movies, and I really think that's something films are missing, is keeping the surprise factor. Because nobody really knew what the Predator would look like or what he was. You had to go see the film to get the look, and now Predator's an icon. Everyone just knows that. They see something like that mask of the Predator or anything, or say a poster or something. They're like, that's the Predator. I know who that is. I'm just glad they did change the design, because if everybody knows, like when they were filming this movie, they had a different look, and they had to change it, and it looked like an ant-like creature because Van Damme was going to play it, and it just looks bad. I mean, I know that's just my opinion. It just looks terrible. Like it just really actually does look like a 50s, whatever science fiction movie. I didn't care for it. So I'm glad we just got the Predator look we got today, because the Predator look we got today is badass. I mean, you got so many fantastic moments in this film, like when the Predator's first appearance, when it kills that one guy and it's still its camouflage, or when the Predator, you get the first look at the Predator, it's still just and all amazing. The helicopter ride at the beginning, listening to the Little Richard song, I love that song. The final fight with Arnold and the Predator is just awesome. Him putting all the mud on just to keep him camouflaged and everything. I mean, that was just like kind of like King Kong versus Godzilla fight, because this guy barely had any weapons. I mean, his old weapons were gone, so he had to use traps and everything he made to defend himself, and it works perfectly. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is one of my favorite roles of him. I mean, I love him in Terminator. I love him in Last Action Hero. This is easily one of my favorites of his. Alan Silvestri's score, it's legendary. It's just absolutely legendary, and probably easily one of my favorite themes, movie themes of all time. Easily, without a doubt. There, I mean, they got Jurassic Park, you got Batman, you got Superman, but this one's easily in my top 5 of just a great theme. And this is just a fantastic film, great science fiction movie. If you've never seen The Predator, go watch it. It's so good. I give it an 8 out of 10. Predator just was the bar for some science fiction, like creature designs and everything, and it nailed it. So, moving on to number 1, Predator 2. Now, this is a movie as a kid. I didn't care for it. I remember getting it on DVD at Walmart a long time ago. When I was a kid, and I was just like, "Oh, there's a Predator 2. I gotta see this," and I just didn't care for it. But now, after multiple rewatches, and I find this movie just awesome. This movie is fantastic as well. Just a tad bit better than the first one. First off, the Predator, he's in New York, folks. That's just awesome. And the look of the Predator's cool. He's not. I prefer the first one look. This Predator look is just as cool as ever. It shows off, I mean, the badass weaponry, and it just kind of gives you a fact that, I mean, the Predator is in this setting, this open world, and he's coming to town to fuck people up, because he does. I mean, these gangs, because it's a gang war. I mean, he's just going through, and no one's even standing a chance. Like whenever he kills the gang people at the beginning, or when he goes to the one people, like that couple that those gangs like took over the thing, and he's just killing all them. And again, you see all the weapons and everything. It's just so great. Danny Glover as Michael Harrigan is fantastic. He's just as good on the par level of Dutch. And I love how big of an asshole he can be. But just I also love that chemistry him and his friend Danny brought, because you would really think they were actually good friends in real life, because they definitely they work together perfectly. And I just gotta love Bill Paxton, because he's so annoying, but he's so awesome. R.I.P. Bill Paxton. Like I said, the city setting is really cool. It's something, I think it just opens this open world, and like who knows what's gonna happen. Like the train sequence was actually a scene that like they used to creep me out as a kid, because I mean how the Predator just turns out all the lights, turns out everything, and just goes on that train and just messes everybody up. Nobody survives that, except for a few people. And he didn't kill that one girl, the one cop, because she was pregnant. So, I mean, that was cool. The warehouse scene where Predator thinks nobody's there because those guys are trying to get him, Gary Busey's team. But then he changes his like thermal and sees everyone is actually there, and he's like, "Oh crap, there are people here, so I better go get them." And when he does, I mean, that's cool. The final fight with Michael and the Predator is really cool, because it's just goes from place to place to place, like in the house, I mean, the apartment. You get that old lady who goes like, Angel goes, I'm a cop, and then the lady goes, I don't think he gives a shit. That was always the scene that always made me laugh, and when their fight is really cool, because Danny Glover gives it to him. I mean, that was a real good straight up fight. And then he had the line where Danny walks up to him, "You are one ugly." Like, I mean, they're going off the first one, but then the Predator grabs him and goes, "Motherfucker." That's cool, because I mean, it's just a nod to the first one, but not in a bad way. And then they fight on that spaceship, and you see the xenomorph skull on the wall. So we got our first nod and everything, and fanboy moment that aliens do exist. So stay tuned, you might get a movie, and I may rank those movies and talk about those, because I like the Alien vs. Predator movies, not gonna lie. And then when all the predators show up and you see all the different ones and everything, just was hoping they maybe would attack Danny Glover just a surprise and everything. But and then you got like the king or the leader predator, and he hands him that gun from like the Western days. I hope we do get to see that in a movie because that'd be really cool. And Alice Sylvester coming back for the score, fantastic once again. Uh, I really believe Predator 2 is better than the first. Not by much, just by a little bit. And if you would watch it, you would understand why. Because I definitely understand the cult following it has and everything. So if you had a chance, rewatch it. I think you would definitely be surprised how really good Predator 2 is. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. So that's all the Predator movies. Number 4 with Predators. Number 3, The Predator. Number 2, Predator. Number 1, Predator 2. So definitely, like I said, leave your ranking down below. I'd love to know what everyone's thinking. What movie differs from everyone, because everyone's got different opinions. So I will have my full review of The Predator coming up probably this weekend or starting next week. So stay tuned for that. Very excited for the movie. Glad to hear the positive reception from it. So we'll see how it turns out on Hulu this Friday. So until next time, I'm Chase. Talk to you then.